Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome back to another dev blog today. I believe it's number 3. Yeah, I didn't realize it's been 3 weeks since the last time I made the video. Since I made another dev blog. I remember last week I was like, why is 2 weeks taking so long? And when I looked at it, at the last uploaded video, it was already 2 weeks already, and it was already too late. It was Sunday, and wasn't ready to make a video, so I decided to do it the week after, which is today. So that's what I'm here doing, and I'm gonna give you guys some updates that I've made since 3 weeks ago, and I'm been in a good spot right now, actually. So let's get into it. Let's go. All right, guys. But yeah, I hope you guys have been doing great, doing wonderful, and doing great stuff. Hope you guys doing great. So what I wanted to let's see. I'm looking at my list right now, just making sure I have everything I wanted to talk to you guys about. So let's see. I want to talk about shaders. Okay, so I updated shaders in my engine a little bit. That way, it'll be easier for me for creating the pipeline in Vulkan. So when it comes to Vulkan, you have to initialize the pipeline, the shaders, and all of the stuff that you have inside the shaders, like the uniform blocks. Make sure you set those correctly in the descriptor sets and all that. And if you don't set it correctly, the pipeline will just cry on you. So I wanted that to happen automatically, because usually, let's open one of my shader files, right? The vertex shader. So every time you want to add, let's say I wanted to add another struct or another uniform block here, set one, binding one. Just make sure this is different for now, temporarily. So if I were to set this up, I would then have to manually go inside my engine and set this layout correctly, right, for the pipeline. Otherwise, if I don't set it up, the pipeline would just cry on you. It will start crying because when you start creating the pipeline, it knows that you created a new struct in there, but you never defined it, and it would just cry on you for that. So you'll have to manually go in there and add it yourself. But I wanted my engine to do this automatically. So I started looking into things and how to do that, and I found out that the Vulkan SDK has a Spearbeak cross header file where you're able to read the shader, and it gives you all the information of the uniform blocks of all of this. It gives you the size, it tells you what binding it's at or what set it's at, and yeah, it gives you all that information, which is great. So I'm using that to start to create the pipeline. So now if I wanted to create one, let's say I created another one at this binding, let's say it was somehow binding 12. I don't know if we could actually go to 12, but it's, I don't want to make it difficult for things. So let's say it was a set 2, and this is the third object, right? It automatically does it, and all you have to do is basically just push the data, right? So like you would do normally when, let's say, the model matrix of the entity or the game object, you will have to push it when it updates. So that's all you have to do now. But there is one thing about this, is that this Spearbeak cross header file, it's not the best way when it comes to, let's say I want to release the game. It's not the best way to use that header file. So the plan for me is, since now I have the data working correctly and all that, I want to use this Spearbeak cross header file to spit out a file that will save all the information for me. Probably like in a JSON file or something like that. I need to add a JSON library into my engine, so I need to look into that. But yeah, I will spit out a file, and then when I start reading the shader, I will read the file. It will initialize all that stuff for me and do it automatically. So it's not too bad, actually. I already have the information I need for it, so it's not too bad. And the reason why I wanted to go into this thing is because I added fog into the demo, to the space shooter. So the fog is back. Yeah. But when I was starting adding the fog, I was like, I wish I could do this automatically. The engine would just do it automatically. So that's the reason why I went into the shader and started doing that. So that's where it's at right now. Hold on, let me revert all this stuff. I don't want any of this stuff in here. So that's why I went into this route with the shaders. So it does all this information automatically, and I don't have to deal with it every time when I want to add something. I don't have to do that manually anymore. Let's run this bad boy. I had a fog bag like I mentioned, but it's not the best right now. I still need to tweak it. It still needs to be tweaked a little bit. And there's other things I added as well, as you can see, but I won't mention it when it comes to it. So as you can see, I added fog bag. It still needs to be tweaked. I still not too crazy about it, but it works. I just need to tweak it so it looks better like it did and when it was in OpenGL. But as you can see all the asteroids here, and as you get closer, they start showing up. All I have to do is just tweak it and all that shenanigans. So it's not too bad. Okay, and this is the red one. So I can switch to the red one and the blue one. I didn't add the purple one like I had in the previous one, but as you can see, this thing works. It's not too bad. I'm actually excited about that. This is coming back to where it was at when I was in OpenGL. Cool. I gotta add more asteroids and all that. So yeah, let's go. So that's that. Fog, super simple. Fog is back. Alright, so the next thing I've added, let's see, it's the particle system. So I brought my particle system back with the explosions, and I'm using the render instancing for it. So that is back, and I like it a lot better in here in Vulkan because it looks so much better. Let me enable that. I have it where it works where you shoot the bullet or projectile and it hits, like, it collides with another object and it explodes like it did in the previously in the OpenGL. But I have a bug on it, which I'm gonna show you after, or at the end, whenever the bug section of my talk today will come up. Hold on, did I get this? Yeah. So this is the particle stuff. Let's build it. So yeah, I have a bug on it, but I won't mention it. It's very weird. But this is looping the fire animation projectile. As you can see, super cool. I just don't like it just because of a post-processing effect. Makes it look like you can actually see the squares. I'm actually pointing at the screen like you guys know where I'm pointing at. But you can actually see like the squares. But I mean, as long as you're far away, you don't actually see it too bad. But it's actually great. I actually like it. It's not too bad. As long as you're far away, you don't see it too bad. Right? And I changed this a little bit, so now you could add multiple of colors as it's transitioning through its life cycle of the particle. Before it was just transitioning between two different colors, but now I made it so you can transition to multiple colors depending on the life cycle of the particle. So right now it transitions to 3 different colors. So right now it goes from red, orange to yellow. But I could add more to it if I wanted to, like a whole bunch of them if I wanted to, because I just want to have more color variations in here to make it look like how it does right now. So you can see a little bit of the red and transitions a little bit to the orange, and then to the yellow. So well, not too bad, not too bad, not too bad. And as you can see, I also added post-processing effect here. It still needs to be tweaked. I added bloom. Oh hey, somebody just passed on my screen. So I added bloom, but it still needs to be tweaked a little bit. It's not where I want it to be, but I have it working, and I like how I added this into the engine because I can easily just turn it off. So let's say I just don't want it. and then there's no post processing. Actually, yeah, I thought it was a post processing, but this is also, you can actually see the squares here. Okay, so that's a bug, or just the blending. I need to figure out a better blending here. Yeah, I thought it was the post processing bloom that I was able to see that. But anyway, so you can see there's no bloom, there's no post processing thing happening right now. But I like how this is happening. So when it comes to Vulkan, when you run the render things on the screen, so let's say I'm gonna talk a little bit about Vulkan. I'm not gonna go too deep on it, but if you don't know about Vulkan, then you will not know what I'm talking about. Or maybe you will if you know a little bit about the rendering side of it. So when it comes to, for right now in my engine, it has a main render pass, which renders the world, which I'm using to render the world, right? So if there's no post-processing effect, then that means that main render pass is going to be the one that's going to be presenting to you. So initially, when the frame buffer is rendering or recording, it then transitions that image or attachment into a presentation so that you're able to see it, and it submits it for presentation for your eyeballs to see, as we can see on the screen, right? So it presents the image, and you can see this. But if I add a post-processing effect in here, the way I'm doing it in my engine is that I'm creating another render pass, and that means that the main render scene, the attachment view on it, it's not going to be presenting anymore, because it needs to be rendered in the post-processing effect now, and the post-processing effect will be the one that's going to be presenting into the screen. So my engine handles that automatically. So let's say I want to add another post-processing effect. Let's say I want to do ambient occlusion or chromatic aberration or depth of field or whatever post-processing effect I want to add. Then I will have 3 render passes, one for the main render scene that does not present anymore. I will have another one for the bloom, which does not present anymore now, and then the third post-processing effect, whatever you end up choosing, and then that one is going to be the one that's going to be presenting onto the screen. So it does that automatically, and it works. I like it. Not too bad. So let's bring my post-processing thing back. Yeah, I'm gonna show you the bug that I have right now. I have no clue on what's going on right there, but it is what it is. It just happened today. You know, I got, as you've seen right now, the engine that I'm showing you right now is, I just finished it today to where it's at for me to do this blog for you guys. So this is where I thought I was like in a good idea where I could do this blog. So I'm gonna leave this particle over here. So as you can see, you can still see that there's a bloom still happening. Right, you can see a little bit around the ship, and projectiles also has kind of like a bloom coming out of it as well. Right, and are they ever gonna die? Or maybe not. That's probably something else I need to look into. All right, something to look into after. So yeah, as you can see, the bloom's still happening, but once I start shooting this asteroid, boom, the bloom is gone. I have no idea what's happening. So let's try that again. I have no idea what's happening here, but it just happened today. So I need to dig a little deeper and figure out what exactly is happening and why it happens when I shoot an asteroid. It's completely gone. It never comes back. No idea on what's happening. I know it's not the shader because I made it really simple, a really simplified shader that still happens, and it's still happening in that shader, and it still bugs out, and for some reason the shader the bloom is not happening anymore. So I need to dig a little deeper, but maybe it's one of you guys know exactly what's happening. maybe somehow, you know, and be like, hey, it clicks, and you know exactly. You can be like, hey, if you look here, 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 and do this, and there you go. And feel free to let me know in the comments. But otherwise, I will need to dig in deeper and figure out, well, why it's happening and why. And maybe there's some type of debugging tool I can use. Maybe figure out maybe there's something spitting out, because there's nothing here that's spitting out that tells me that there's an issue. So yeah, so that's where I'm at right now. Cool. So that's what I've been doing for the past 3 weeks. I did some of the shaders, but that's only because I wanted to add fog and make things simpler for me. I added fog back, added the blue and the red. I still need, like I said, I still need to tweak it to be where it was at with OpenGL, but it's still cool, right? It's just like this asteroid just came out of nowhere. Right? I added my particle system back, the explosions, the user rendering instancing. Ooh. Yeah, this is what happens when I have no UI. I have no idea where my crosshairs are at. Yeah, post-processing effect, which is awesome. I just made it work yesterday, so it still needs a little bit more tweaking, but it's in a good spot, you know, where I thought I could make this video today. And then I gotta fix some of the bugs, which was as you can see, the particle system. It still shows like the squares. It could either be the texture that I need to clean it up, like that around the edges, but I don't know. I will have to figure out what the issue is. I forgot what the second issue was. I will have to like listen back to my video again. But the third one was the projectiles. For some reason, it didn't turn off. Oh, this one did. Yeah, this one's gone. Strange. Oh yeah, I remember the when you shoot the asteroid, the balloon is gone. And that's it. So the 3 bugs that just happened. 2 which just came out of nowhere in this video that didn't happen before. But that's always happens, right? If you're ever a programmer and you want to present something, a bug just shows up out of nowhere. It just happens. But yeah, that's where I'm at, guys. That is where I am at. So my next steps, or future steps, I guess. Let's go. Let me look at my list right now for future steps. Okay, so I got my to-do list here. Okay, the first one says, I got you probably. Hold on, I probably can just show you guys over here. So I have bullet projectiles, which is technically that kind of is done. I haven't moved it over yet. Hold on, because I do love. Seeing my. So let's move this over to a little corner overside over here, because I like seeing the universe being alive a little bit with the enemies passing by. But anyways, okay. So projectiles are done. Enemy AI. I mean, they're still not where I want them to be right now, because right now they're just roaming around. They don't shoot you. They don't do nothing. Before, in the original, when it was an OpenGL, they would shoot asteroids too. Actually, you know what? The asteroids actually exploded and made smaller asteroids, which I haven't done yet. But maybe that's something else to do. But enemy AI, the reason why I'm leaving it here is because I want to make better AI and not just state machines, or I don't know what I want to do with it. I know I want to dig deeper into AI, and just so that I can get better and all that kind of shenanigans. But yeah, so I'm leaving it here. I got particle system / thrusters. I have the particle system in here. Thrusters wouldn't be too hard to add, right? Using the projectile system, I have it working. All I have to do is add a projectile behind the ship, wherever the thruster area is at, or engine, and then just do the particles. So you have to tweak it so that it looks like a fire and all that kind of cool thing that the thruster does, right? So technically it's done. Do I want to dig in deeper and get this done. Maybe not anytime soon. It's probably like low priority for me right now. So I'll just leave it. Maybe, what if I do this? I'm put particle system done, but I can just leave thruster particles. So yeah, that's not that too bad. Collisions are technically done. So let's move that over here. Obstacle avoidance, technically not really. It's like really low priority. Same thing as thruster particles. Obstacle avoidance mostly for type of games like space shooter ones where let's say I wanted to double click somewhere, which technically you can do. Let's say I double click. I wish I had UI working here so you actually can see my mouse. But let's say I'm clicking behind the asteroid that's in front of me, right? And it will move the ship towards it, right? And then obstacle avoidance, as it get closer, it will start moving away. Oh, I didn't move away, my bad, but it will start moving around. So it will work best for these types of games. But do I want to work on it today or anytime soon? I don't know. Like I said, it's really low priority, but it'd be cool to have. Networking, which is one of the main things I really want to work on. I will need to do a little research and figure out what multiplayer third-party libraries are out there for me to use. I have not really dug deep into it and figure out what is the best one. If you guys know what kind of networking out there, be like, hey, you can use this. It's super cool third-party library or whatever package that I can use. It'd be great. I can look into it, but otherwise I'm gonna do some little bit of research and figure out what I want to do with that. I got point lights. This is not really that hard to do. I just gotta figure out what is the best way for the engine to handle it automatically, because I don't want you, let's say me as a user that wants to use the engine, I don't want someone to come in here and create a point line and then they will have to handle the updates and pushing it to vulkan and all that, pushing the uniform block updated data into the vulkan. I don't want it to handle that. I want the engine to handle that automatically. It's still not there, but it shouldn't be. It's not that hard to do. I just need to figure out a best way to handle that, right? So I need to look into that. Shader. Don't remember why I put shader. Maybe it was what I worked on today, or maybe another thing that I would like for the shader to do is, let's say I wanted to. Let's close this real quick. Let's say I wanted to open this. Right now my shader doesn't do this. So like say I wanted to include another shader, right? That vert or whatever the name of the shader is gonna be. That'd be super sweet to do. And my engine does not handle that. Because it would be super sweet because I don't want to have to define a lot of things in here. Every single vertex. Let's say I wanted to handle like each one has the same layout, all of this stuff is copied over. It would be great if I can just create one and then just include it and do that. And it's actually not that hard to do. I just need to figure out how to do it. I'll find time to do it actually. All right, let's render that again. Not render, but let's play the game again. So I think that's probably what I meant when I said shader. So most likely I'll just leave it there for now. Fog is done. I don't need to handle that. So that's done. Post effects done. I mean, well, they're technically not really done. Bloom is done. Right? So bloom is working. I just need to tweak the numbers and all that. But I still have other blooms, other post-processing effects that are still out there. I have the enums for it. So if I wanted a, where is my, let's go to gameplay. If I went in here, you can see I have bloom, depth of field, motion blur, ambient occlusion, screen space, color grading, vignette, anti-aliasing, HDR, chromatic aberration, fill grain, and lens distortion. You only have bloom, but I don't have the rest, so I still need to do the rest. And all I need to do is just that if I use bloom, then it will read the bloom shader, or if depth of field, it will do the depth of field shader. So that's the only difference I need to do. I just need to create the shaders for it, which I need to find time to do. So, you know, that's a different thing. So technically bloom is done, but not the rest. So I just leave it there for now. UI, that's another thing I would like to get. Like right now, I get lost because I can't see where my crosshairs are at, and yeah, so I need to figure out, or do some research and figure out what kind of UI I want to use, what third-party library I want to use, or I create a really simple one for my engine. I do not know what way I want to go. I know creating a UI system is not good. It's not going to be easy. So I'm going to look at third-party libraries and figure out like which ones I can use. If you guys know like a really good one that I can use in C++, let me know. Let me know in the comments. It'll be great. I appreciate you guys for that. Procedural stuff, generation. I mean, I have the seeding and randomizing and RNG, all that stuff working, but do I like, this is like really low priority, and if I want to keep going with this space shooter demo, it'll be great. Like I said, I had this planet that I worked on before. That'll be super great to go and bring it back, but it's really low priority. I really want to make UI or networking in this game, because in my engine, because I want to start showing off some stuff that I can do, not just with my engine, but like my skill set, because I'm making a game engine, but I'm not a game engine engineer. But I'm doing this just because I want to challenge myself. I always like learning new things, right? And that's who I am. I like learning things, and this is why I'm making this game engine. Nothing compared to Unreal or Unity, but it can do stuff. And I'm excited where my engine is going. But like I said, I'm want to get this stuff working, like networking UI, so that I can start making games. Look at it. Oh hey, another bug. These guys going backwards. Woohoo! I never noticed that. So another bug to look into. I probably the direction vector is backwards, but I will have to look into that. But anyway, yeah, I want to get this UI networking in there because I want to start creating games so that I can show off my skill set, because I love being a gameplay programmer, and I want to show that off, and I want to keep learning. And this is why I'm doing these videos for you guys, because I want to get better, and I'd love for you guys to join in my journey. If you guys are interested, I would love to have you guys around. I hope you guys enjoy this type of videos, and I'm excited to be here watching me grow, and I wouldn't mind having you guys around with me either. So that's where I'm at right now. So that's the reason I want to get UI working, networking, UI and networking working. Yeah, that works together. But yeah, so that's why procedural, thruster particles, obstacle avoidance are like really low priority. Networking UI would be something great to have in the engine to be able to do the stuff that I want to do. AI is also, another thing that can be good too. And the point lights. I guess point lights is just more visual stuff. But that's where I'm at right now. And sound. Sound is also another thing it would be great to have, which is more priority over procedural stuff for me. So, because my sound is still not working, I gotta get that back working again. And so that I can hear some sounds. You know, that'll be pretty sweet. I gotta add debugging stuff. I have no debugging stuff in my engine right now, like profiling. So all I need to do is do those type of things in my engine, so I can figure out like bottlenecks and all that kind of thing. So I would like to have in here the post effects, which is like the rest of the things are really low priority. Another thing I would like to add here is multi-threading, because I would like for the render instancing to also multi-thread some of the stuff that is going on in there. Because like for my asteroids, there's 800 asteroids here, and it's looping through all of them, checking to see if they should be rendered on the screen or not. And it'll be great for the multi-threaded to do that. But anyways, guys, I'm making this video a little bit longer. Damn, 34 minutes. I was hoping this could be super short, but yeah. Did I say anything else? Yeah. So this is future steps. Would like to go either UI or networking. Feel free to let me know if you guys know any third-party libraries that you may know. That would be super cool and super great to add in the comments below, either in networking or UI, and I'll do some research on my own and figure out what I gotta do to add that into my engine. But I'm very happy where it's at with the engine right now. It's progressing, and I'm happy about it. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Feel free to put in the comments and figure out what my next game will be. I'm thinking of making a 2D game, like a dungeon style RPG kind of game, like Zelda, right? Like when they go to the jungle, into like a dungeon and all that. I'm thinking of doing something like that. I don't know yet, but feel free to put in the comments if you guys want to, like, hey, to throw some ideas if you want to be a part of it. And yeah, we'll do this together, guys. Yeah, that's what I have today, guys. I don't want to make this video any longer. I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up. It helps me out a lot. And feel free to share it to other people if you know people that would like this kind of things. It'd be great. And I can keep doing this stuff for you guys. And yeah, I'll continue with, did I say what was my next? Oh yeah, the UI, right? UI, networking, and fixing some bugs. I don't know if I want to do that yet, if like high priority, like I said, but I don't want to go through that all over again because I already talked about it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy your day. I'll see you guys later. Signing out.